Cotton Mather's relationship with Harvard College was deeply influenced by his belief that serving and glorifying God could only be achieved through adherence to faith, obedience to God, and acting with love for God. My name is Robert Smith. I'd like to address an article with you known as Reforming Harvard, Cotton Mather on Education at Cambridge, written by Kenneth Minkema and published by the New England Quarterly in June 2014. The article focuses on Cotton Mather's relationship with Harvard College insofar as his desire to be president, as well as his son's attendance there in 1719. Minkema's article is based upon a previously unpublished manuscript document known as Important Points, which was released by the Mather Project led by Reiner Smolinski and Jan Stiverman, who released the volume in celebration of Mather's 350th birthday. The article title is quite a mouthful. It's known as Important Points Relating to the Education at Harvard College, Needful to be Inquired Into, Prayed and Humbly Offered by Some who have newly passed through the first 4 years of being there. To help contextualize that document, Minkema uses two other documents that he feels are reflective of Mather's mindset, including a letter to William Dennison and directions for a son going to college. Mather's Important Points is released in 1707 as Harvard was searching for a new president, based upon the death of Samuel Willard. Willard had written directions to students going to ministry, which was a 12-point document, and Mather's Important Points is a 12-point parody of Willard's original document. In the Important Points, Mather was attempting to influence the next president of Harvard, which he believed had become too liberal and moved away from congregational minister training. The next president was John Leverett, Esquire, who was an attorney and the first non-clergyman made president of Harvard. Obviously, this was unacceptable to the Mathers. And in his letter to Dennison, Mather laments, quote, that to make a lawyer and one who never affected the study of divinity a president for a college of divines will be a very preposterous thing, a thing without precedent. Indeed, under Leverett, the college was attacked by both conservatives and liberals for various reasons, but Samuel Eliot Morison noted that under Leverett, the school moved towards its liberal education tradition. Despite his reservations, Mather sent his son to Harvard in 1719, and his letter is most instructive, wherein he admonishes his son to make sure he studies the Bible, reads the Bible, and prays on a daily basis. In 1724, when Leverett died, Mather again thought he would be made president, but he was not, and his diary is filled with remonstrance against the college and its trustees. Eventually, Mather wrote Benedictio ad Ministerium, Directions for a Candidate of Ministry, wherein he stressed what he believed is important to education, including focus on Latin, focus on Scripture, and maintaining Protestant doctrines such as grace. Minkema concludes the article by addressing the hypothetical question, what if Mather had become president? But he notes the college was small at Mather's attendance, and it was marred by King Philip's War. And he also noted that Mather was abused while a student there. In this regard, I found an interesting article suggesting standard hazing, such as having to go for food for seniors, as well as much more advanced punishment of Mather, including teasing for his stammering and stuttering. The article was written by David Levin and is called The Hazing of Cotton Mather, the Creation of a Biographical Personality. Minkema argues that Mather would have been influenced by Jan Comenius, a Czech Reformed theologian and scholar, as well as August Hermann Francke, with whom Mather corresponded. However, in this regard, my research revealed material as to exactly what Mather's educational philosophy was, and that would have been attendance to Scripture, attendance to Protestant doctrine such as grace and Latin, as well as being able to read well enough to read the Bible on a regular basis. The articles I found were John Boyd Atwell's Educational Theories of Cotton Mather, which was a dissertation for the University of Southern California, as well as Susan Cherry Bell's History and Artistry in Cotton Mather's Magnalia Christi Americana, which was a dissertation for the State University of New York at Binghamton. The seminal work on Cotton Mather is Barrett Wendell's biography of Cotton Mather from 1891, And in that study, Wendell looks at Mather's relationship with Harvard as having been complicated by his ongoing disputes with then Governor Joseph Dudley over the direction of Harvard College. Overall, I think the most important document of the three are his directions to his son, because they demonstrate that even in his personal life, in regards to his own son, Mather admonished him to maintain prayer, scripture reading, and attendance to the Christian doctrine, such as maintaining the Sabbath and living a holy life as part of his college routine. Thank you very much for listening.